Can you guys hear me now? Yes, you can. Okay, hi guys. Welcome in. Welcome back. Things are going great. It's a great start. I'm LB Hackwell. Welcome back to Hack Recklessly. We are live this Sunday doing a wonderful one-shot. I'm joined with all of my lovely friends, and we are going to be doing a cool little 5th edition one-shot, and we're going to go around and have everybody say who they are, who they're playing tonight. We're going to start off with Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex. Some guy on the internets, mostly on G Game Nights, GGK, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And for the one shot we're doing here, I am playing Zez, who is a goblin barbarian, Path of the Ancestral Warrior, Guardian, whatever that is.
Nailed it. Next up is Rachel.
Hi, that's me. Hi, I'm Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth, where I've been streaming recently because I've been playing D&D on the internet with my friends 3 times a week. Tonight, I am playing Dove Ambersong, the College of Lore Bard.
All right, go ahead, Val.
Hi, it's me. I had no idea. This is so exciting to see what order people are in. I'm Val. You can find me the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. I'm running this game tonight, so I'm not playing anybody.
All right, go ahead, Savannah.
Hello, I'm Savvy. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth, mostly on Twitter. When I'm not here Thursdays through Mondays, I am also on twitch.tv/game nights, either playing in games or running them. Tonight, I am playing Joel Nighthand, who is a halfling trickery cleric.
And I'm LB Hackemup. I'm going to be, you can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. You found me. We're live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, sometimes Tuesday. It just depends on the week. We've been pretty busy recently with traveling and whatnot, so we've been off on Fridays, but we are going to jump back in, I think, playing Resident Evil 4, if it's coming out, or we might be playing Midnight Ghost Hunt again, which was really fun. Tonight I am playing Rawl, Night Rawl, who is a half-orc wizard. That's all the stuff we have for the intro, so Val, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Oh, boy. It's my show now. I am also, it was pointed out in the chat, realizing how close everyone's names are, and I am gonna go ahead and write everybody's names down. I love the monosyllabic names that everybody did, so that makes me happy. All right, y'all ready to jump into it? Oh
Yeah.
Okay. You sit in a warm, fire-lit tavern after a long and cold day, enjoying the amenities of one of Mirabar's less savory establishments. A round of drinks is served, and you're settling in for a relaxing evening. A bard strums a lute softly in the corner, barely audible above the crowd. A burly man at a table next to you pounds his fist on the stained and cracked cedar as his companion, hand stained black with soot and ash, recounts a story loudly. The growl of wood sliding across an unfinished bar echoes as the barkeep serves drinks. Then, conversations are interrupted as a young human pushes open the door, yelling back outside, "You know what? Fuck you, Carl."
Yeah, fuck you, Carl.
He slams the door behind him and catches his breath as he looks around the bar. Every eyes at nearby tables stare at him curiously. "What?" he barks angrily as he pushes into the bar and grabs a drink. He stops, looking around the bar. His short auburn hair a tousled mess, his face streaked with grease, his cheeks flushed. He raises a tankard to his mouth with an arm heavily bandaged and scarred. His other sleeve is tied off where his bicep would be if he had not been missing that arm. He catches eyes with your table and pauses mid-drink. You almost see the gears rotating behind his eyes before he downs the rest of his pint and approaches. Without asking, he grabs a stool and sits among the four of you, slamming his hands down on the table. "Hey, you want to make a shit ton of money?"
Is that why you're telling Carl to fuck off? Because if so, yes. I mean, either way, yes, but especially if it's involved in telling Carl to fuck off.
Yes, that is tangentially related. How does everyone else feel? I assume you're together.
Apparently we are. Is this a legal thing?
Yes,
Really?
mostly.
Oh, okay.
That's my
Do you
favorite flavor of legality.
Do you have any more facts that you'd like to throw at us about these?
Well, I get hung up on facts. Gold. Gold is what we're looking for right now, right? Okay, facts. Fine. Okay, fine. All right. There's a race tonight, and I need a crew.
A horse race?
No, but close. Wyvern racing.
The bird?
The dragon thingy.
Yes, of course.
It's like a dragon, but missing the front arms. It's got the wings and stuff.
Sounds scary.
Yeah. So, let me explain. There's a temple of Gond.
I know of this Gond.
Yes. Anyway, so there's a temple, the Gaunt, that is holding a championship. They hold it annually, and there's a bunch of teams that compete for a trophy. It's a golden cog, like this big, like 20 pounds of gold. All right, and I've got a wyvern, I've got a cart, but I just lost my crew.
How'd you lose your crew, Sugar?
Differences in management.
That information was about as useful as tits on a bull. I'm gonna need a little more than that.
I like the folksy attitude. Okay, so Carl, who you might have heard me talking to, had some differences in, I guess you could say, creative differences when it comes to how we should do the race. I built the cart, and I trained. He trained the wyvern. We kind of did that part together. But anyway, so he wanted to fabricate the cart a specific way. I didn't like that idea. I wanted a more like personal approach. Essentially, every crew gets to build their own carts, different specifications. The way that I wanted to build mine requires like a pretty large team for it. So we needed more people to recruit. He got some more people in. He wanted a bigger cut of the profits. Anyway, I decided, fuck that, split it 5 ways. That makes sense to me. So.
And your Carl's gonna be all right with you just taking it with a new crew?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
All right, I'm in.
If
All right,
that's
what's your
in,
name?
I'm in.
Names?
Oh, I'm Zez.
Oh, hi, I'm Dev.
Night
Yes,
Prowl.
Dev Ambersong. You might have heard of me.
Yes? Is that the right answer? Yes? Okay, yes, I have heard of you.
She's got famous.
Net Rawl?
Knight. I am a knight.
Night Rawl. Night Rawl. Oh, okay, 2 different words. Gotcha.
Yes.
And yours?
Joel.
Joel. Great. Nice to meet all of you. So are you interested?
Yes.
I like money. I'm in.
Okay, awesome. The race starts at midnight tonight. So we only have a few hours to get everything together. Why don't I show you the cart we're working with, and you can let me know if you need anything specific. Why don't you come with me?
You do know how to do this, right? We're not going to have to do everything.
No.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna handle the driving and any sort of issues we might have with the cart. I just need 4 people who know how to handle themselves in a fight.
Oh, well, you came to the right table.
Yes.
Okay. And I knew
So
that
we're your pit crew.
kind of, if well, like pit people against each other, like you're gonna fight, like hit people with a sword, then yes.
No, Dev, I think the pit crew stays back. I think we're going on the fight as well.
Yes.
flag.
Oh, okay.
To fight.
Yeah, see, I can explain things as we go, but like I said, we have a minimal amount of time to get registered and to our position. So if we could kind of walk and talk, you can bring drinks with you, walk and talk.
Oh,
Okay.
to-go cups. I'll go get us some.
Thank you.
You're a
The-
peach dove.
No, she's an
The
elf.
Well, yeah, I know
barkeep
she's an elf.
gives you some styrofoam cups to bring your drinks
No,
in.
biodegradable paper.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm a wood elf.
Biodegradable paper cups. Magically enchanted styrofoam cups that are biodegradable. And straws. Paper straws.
I like the idea that enchantments on styrofoam is still cheaper than finding a good alternative container.
You get your drinks to go and head out into the cold Mirror Bar evening as you're heading across town. Snow kicking up a little bit. It's getting late, getting towards winter, and people are sort of hunkering in for the late season frost. You wind through the city streets as the sun has set. It's getting close to midnight, but you're still a couple hours off. And your new companion, who introduced himself, as he turns around and says, "Oh, I'm Byron, by the way. Sorry, nobody asked, but I just figured you want to know my name." And he leads you across town. And eventually, you arrive at a small, like, almost looks like a stable or a workshop or something. And the workshop itself is Byron heads towards the door, pulls out a set of keys and a ring of keys and begins to unlock it. And the stable off to the side, which is sort of batten closed with a big plank in front of it, you can hear a like a growling sound coming from in there as you walk past. And he says, just hold on, I'll be there in a minute. And heads to the front and opens the door, ushering you all inside. And he begins to light lanterns and everything all around this rather open space where you see walls have been knocked away and space has been cleared. And as he lights the final lantern, it illuminates at the back of this room, in front of another like gate or something that leads out from the back of the shop, is a massive cart, about like 20 feet long and about 15 feet wide. It's heavily bolted or like reinforced with iron bands around the side, kind of forming a like a rectangular shape. And on top of the cart is a large, almost looks like a big cog and wheel with these strands of rope wound through it. And attached to the end of a couple of these ropes are these like harnesses to them. And then on the toward behind that cog is what looks like kind of a almost like a catapult, but if a catapult had a seat instead of like the arm or the hand to it. And it's got like a big like a recoiled like spring or something in the back of it. And the most sort of strange thing about this cart is that it doesn't have any wheels, and instead it's hovering about 5 feet off the ground.
That is fun. Is that enchanted?
Yeah, did that myself. That's sort of my specialty. I'm an artificer, so I built the whole thing, put together, and yes, enchanted. It hovers right now about 5 feet. It has like a max height of around 10, 15, maybe if you push it. But we won't need to get that much clearance. I don't want to get that far off the ground. And there is a big harness on the front that looks like it'd be for a very large creature, though it's not currently connected to anything.
Right. So what is it that we're going to be in the catapult thing?
Yeah, so the four of you will be in the back. So this was my design for it. So a lot of people attach weapons and stuff to their car. So like catapults, ballista, things like that. But I had the idea of we spend so much time, and most traditionally in the races, people are launching things at each other. But I found like the human touch ends up being, or the personal touch ends up being the most effective. So I designed this to actually launch the crew towards the other carts, so you can get closer, incapacitate whoever's in our competitors' carts, and then the big wheel there is for pulling them back.
Okay, so we all have, ropes attached to us, and you're not just eating us into oblivion.
Yes, exactly.
You're gonna launch me where?
Um, well, so there are other competitors. So there 5 teams will be racing. We'll be one of those. So are the other racers. They'll have their own carts, and usually they build a lot of armor and stuff around them. So you can launch spells and things that try to damage them, but they're usually like protected against that. So it ends up coming down to more of a speed differential thing. But I mean, our Wyvern is good. Betsy does a great job, but she's not like the fastest out there. So hopefully, if I can launch you over and you can get in the other people's carts, you can disable them, and that kind of makes up for maybe some of our lack of speed.
All right. What are the rules on attacking the wyverns themselves?
It is permitted, but yeah, it's fine.
Says you would hurt such a creature?
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. They're just there to race, and that kind of feels mean to
Yeah,
hurt
I
the
mean, it
wyverns.
certainly wouldn't be what I'm going for, but if they bump me out of position or something, I mean, look at these. It like indicates the giant, great weapons on his back. It's like, something's gonna get hit, and I would hate for us to lose if I accidentally nicked a wyvern.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
That's
fine,
fair.
but wyverns are pretty tough creatures, so that's gonna be harder than just taking out the riders.
Sure.
I figured go for the weak point, which is the squishy person driving the
Yep.
driving the thing.
Just chop the harness off.
Yeah,
I assume they lose if the cart doesn't make it across with the wyvern.
exactly.
I love this. I'm absolutely in.
Any other concerns or questions?
None.
Lethality against
Oh.
other competitors.
Is fine. That's okay. Everybody goes into this knowing it is a dangerous gig. If it happens, great. If it happens, it's fine. Most people try not to kill the other people. That just is more of a sportsmanship kind of thing. Uh, with the exception of some racers tend to be a little more brutal than others. The current champion is kind of, well, I wouldn't expect any mercy there.
All right. So maybe if you whip up a little cheat sheet of, who's most likely to try and kill us versus, maiming.
The other racers. Yeah, I can tell you who the other racers are, at least from what I know.
Please, yes.
So like I said, there's 4 other teams. There is a team from the Arcane College. They usually come in people that they usually sponsor a team that comes in. Usually like 2 or 3 members. I think they're going with 2 this year. Try to lighten some of the load. They typically go for speed over power. As far as I know, there's a team of kobolds. I wasn't able to get the full information on their names or who they are because I don't read kobold, and the registration forms were very scribbly. The one of the main competitors who usually has participated for a while is Norog, who's a hill giant. Has a pretty big wyvern, but it never usually wins, but participates, has a lot of fun with it. And then the current champion is Finn the Weasel. He's the 6-time reigning champion.
Is he actually a weasel or
No, it's just a nickname. Finn the Weasel.
what is he?
Human.
Oh.
Does he have
Alright.
weasel-like features or?
I don't know where he got the nickname from.
Maybe it's just good at like screwing people over, or he can fit in really small places, or he has this very strange scent to him.
Maybe.
Or
I mean,
he
all I
likes
know
playing
is
in balls.
he's a great racer, one of the best.
Right. Okay, so he's the one we shoot for. Got it.
Yes.
So, do you know anything about so these Arcane College? Do you know which one it is?
which college.
Right.
I didn't go to college. I don't really know most of the university names. All I know is they're from an arcane college.
That's okay. I just want to know if they're like.
I'm self-taught. I
Yeah.
dropped out after high school.
That's all right. I went to school, and then I went to like grad school, and then I went to like my special training school. It's been a lot.
That's a lot of school.
It is. It is. Anyways.
Everyone else is pretty quiet here. Are you worried or
Just
No.
taking it all in.
no? Okay. So like I said, I'll mostly be driving, operating the cart. I can provide a little bit of support to you, but I'm going to focus mostly on that and leave actually taking out the other teams to you all.
The nerd has a question.
Oh, sorry. Yes, nerd.
Hello. Yes, I was wondering. If you so happen to get knocked out or something, is there anything we need to know about driving the Wyvern, or is it like sort of a pony on a cart that knows its route?
If I get knocked out, then that would be bad. Don't do that. Don't let that happen.
I can keep that from happening.
Okay.
Joel, very good.
If you want to get your mind freaked.
If I what?
Never mind.
Okay. Concerned about that.
Joel, you said you were going to stop saying that to people.
It makes
It's a
them very
brand.
concerned.
Listen, Joel knows his shit, but yeah. I mean, I say some shit, Joel says some shit.
Are you like a magician or something, Joel? Like, are you like the mind freak thing? Is that I know there was an Asimar who named Chris that had
Yeah, he
the
stole
whole
my
thing
thing.
about that. Okay.
It's a very touchy subject.
Okay. Well, let's hope
You couldn't
this...
freak the mind of a dinosaur.
Well, you okay. Yeah, if you know what, you're gonna get real famous if we win this thing, so I'm sure you'll get your branding back.
There's fame in this?
Oh
Like
yeah.
a following?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fans, especially amongst the followers of Gond. They're like big gearheads.
Well, looks like we made the right decision, friends.
Guys, I cannot handle any more maidens. I have too many.
You know, I'm always
One
willing to
can-
help you out.
One can always handle more maidens.
I know. I tried to do that. Oh, I'm green. They're green. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I try, Zez.
It's the height difference, I get it.
I think so.
You are like more than twice his height.
Yes. Plus, I have the boobs.
Yeah, that is one set of equipment I do unfortunately lack.
But you have other things that you're really good at.
Oh yeah. Very handy with my tools and like pulls out like can't properly hold them, but the two-handed weapons that he's got strapped to his back.
Nice.
All right. I'm impressed. I'm happy. I'm excited. I think this is going to go well. Very optimistic. If you need to do any prep, now's the time to do it. I'm going to go ahead and start getting Betsy hooked up to the to get her in her harness here, and we're going to go into our start point for the race.
We don't need to do anything about going faster, right? We're just fighting.
I mean, if you've got a way to make us go faster, that would be great. But I've got some of that covered with Betsy. But yeah, anything you can do to help us during the race would be awesome.
I will check out my spells.
All right. Great. Awesome. Okay. I'll be back. And actually, Zez, right?
Yep.
You look strong. Can you help me with this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just tell me where not to touch, because I know it'd suck to get eaten by a wyvern.
Okay. Yeah, I will help you with that. Just approach slowly and don't make any sudden movements.
Zez,
And-
be careful. She sounds madder than a wet hen.
Yeah, gonna, have not fought a wet hen before, but I think if it was actual hen size, could probably take it, but Those little fuckers are vicious.
You'd kick its ass. Don't worry.
And Byron opens up the doors on the back of the shop, letting in the cold air, and has Yuzez help him pull the cart, which moves relatively easily. I mean, obviously, it would be you wouldn't want to pull this thing any long distance, but it glides over the ground, and pulls it around to the back. Does anybody need to do any like preparatory things?
I'm gonna switch out a couple spells.
I'm just looking at my spells.
Okay, that's fine. Let the spellcasters do their thing if you need to switch anything out. Takes Yuzez around the back and then opens up the stable on the side, pulling up the large plank and setting it to the side. It takes a little bit of doing and probably gets your help with it, given that they're missing an arm. And he said, "Oh, thanks. Put that there. All right." Opens the gate and immediately, like bursting out of the gate, as soon as he opens, almost throwing Byron back, you see a massive like teal colored draconic creature, a wyvern, probably about 25, almost 30 feet from nose to tail, and it looks irritated. It kind of stalks out into the ground, immediately into the cold, and then a breeze picks up and it sort of shudders a little bit in the snow, looking around and sees Yuzez and just kind of like snarls a little bit in your direction.
Hi, Bertha. I can attempt an animal handling check, though I'm not proficient in it. It's
That's
at
up
least
to you
not negative.
if you want to try.
Okay, 15. Not
That's
terrible.
That's pretty good. Betsy seems a little bit kind of cocks her head in your direction, and moves close till her snout is like a foot away from you, and then kind of
I lick her snout.
kind of recoils back like a cat wiping her snout with one of her wings, and then sort of nods a little bit of respect, and then begins to walk across the ground, and saddles up next to the cart. And Byron says, that was great. She didn't bite your head off, so good sign. Good sign. All right, help me with the harness here, and yeah, just don't try not to pinch her anywhere when you're tightening the straps. And yeah, there's essentially this big harness that connects. It has like a 2-point harness where it connects around kind of like the base of where the neck is, and it has a strap that goes down beneath where it wraps around the stomach below the wings, unimpeding the wyvern's wing movements. And she seems, especially with your animal handling check, isn't the happiest about it, but lets you put the harness on her. And then there's some reins straps that go towards the seat that is at the front of the cart, which Byron climbs up into.
All right. So how does this work? Like, so thinking about the design of the cart, is like the catapult big enough to hold multiple of us, or does it look like it's designed to launch one at a time?
I'll say it's a 2-seater. We'll say you can launch 2 at a time. We essentially, the way it works, I'll go ahead and give you some of the stats here. We'll talk about it in game terms. So the way the catapult's going to work, and Byron sort of explains this. Everybody can be hooked into the harness. It's 2 different pieces. One with the harnesses and the straps, with the large crank there, which seems to have like a spring powered where it can be withdrawn very quickly. Essentially everybody can be hooked in. Whoever is it takes an action to launch the creatures sitting in the seats in a direction up to 60 feet, and then an action to use the crank to wheel them back. So one person would have to essentially 2 people can sit in the thing and then set it off as an action. And then one person in the wagon or in the cart needs to use their action to wheel it back.
All right.
Otherwise, the whole wagon has this like barricade around the edges, which you can hunker down behind to get half cover.
Zez is absolutely gonna volunteer for getting yeeted every time. There's very little I can do at range.
Yeah.
I would also like to be yeeted. If that's
Says,
okay.
Anybody can be yeeted. Is that Elvish?
I'm an orc.
Okay. Is that orcish?
I think it's like partially goblin pigeon, but
Okay. All right. Yeeted. I like that. So yes, you can be yeeted. Whoever wants to. So, and you can send multiple people out in different directions, and then but everybody gets pulled back at once. So.
Oh, okay, right.
All right. Well, we got very little time, so if y'all are all ready, let's get going.
Let's go.
All right, y'all load up in the back of the cart, and Byron snaps the reins, and immediately Betsy begins to flap her wings and sail forward, which pulls you along at a good clip as she begins to race through the town. Byron trying to slow her down a little bit, but she's just going. So as she soars through town, some of the townsfolk who are out this late at night kind of pushing back against the sides of the buildings to get out of the way of this wyvern that is now flying through the city streets, and then eventually towards the northern gates of the town or of the city of Mirabar and out of them. And Byron seems to be looking for something specifically, and you all notice that there are in these sort of like northwest ice fields out of town, you notice different like 5 different braziers that are lit in the distance, and Byron begins to fly towards one of those beacons, and slows as you approach, and you see near each one of these large cauldrons, these braziers, there's a flag flying there, which has a symbol on it of a cog with 4 spokes. And any of you with religious background would recognize this as the religious symbol of Gond. And as you approach, Byron brings the cart to a stop and has Betsy come to stop. And there's a couple of like attendants at this beacon here, and begins to attend and talk with Byron. He begins to like converse with them very quickly, and you can see in the distance at each one of these beacons that is spread apart by probably 100 yards each. Other wyverns begin to approach. And with their carts. It's hard to make out any specific details from this distance, but you can see the wyverns more clearly. Close to you on either side, you can see to your left, there is a large or a kind of a grizzled looking green wyvern, with what looks to be, again, kind of peering out in the distance. You can see a rickety sled behind it that has all sorts of debris and kind of gears and stuff piled up behind it. And you see a bunch of small creatures running around, and it looks like that's the team of kobolds. And then to your right, you see approaching a massive tan-colored wyvern. Almost looks like a dragon from this distance. It's so large, and it's pulling a cart behind it. However, the cart itself looks like it's loaded with rocks, and instead of sitting in the cart, there is a hill giant that is currently sitting on the back of the wyvern itself, pulling the cart behind it. You see you can't see the Arcane College team from your current location, but you gather that they're probably somewhere off to the side. And then circling in front of you and kind of racing down the side towards their placement, and kicking up snow as it does. You see the current champion of the race, a uh, a large and beefy looking red wyvern with two heads instead of one. Uh, and behind it is a heavily armored cart, almost looks more like a tank, with a huge ballista mounted on top with a chain descending down from the spiked bolt that is currently sitting in it. And then a heavily armored man is sitting in the driver's seat in this hatch that's currently open. He has large black pauldrons, and he currently has his helmet off, and you see a shaved head, very muscular, like thick neck, and he looks down at your cart as he rides by, and just gives a glower in your direction as he seems to be sizing up the competition.
Just double birds to him and like trying to raise a foot up and trying to bend toes to
I
flip
lift
an extra
Zaz
bird.
up.
Both feet up.
He throws up his arm as he passes, and then spurs the dragon forward as it accelerates. And Byron looks back and says, "That one, that's Finn. Let's
Real charmer.
let's try to avoid him till you kind of get your sea legs out here."
Are we going on water?
No, it's air legs, cart legs.
Wings.
Wyvern legs. I don't know until you get your bearings. Now, if we end up on water, we've gone too far.
Noted.
We are though racing towards. There's a hot springs that is the just southeast of I'm trying Raven Rock. And that's where the end of the race is. And the attendants come by and begin to prepare your wagon for racing, and the race is about to start. Is anyone have anything they want to do immediately? What I'm going to say as far as the race goes, we will enter initiative especially when you guys get in a situation where you're going to be fighting the other cart people, but it's not going to be a strict like 6-second initiative for most of the race. This is a long race, so there will be stretches of time between some of our encounters where you're not immediately like neck and neck with another team. Think more dog sled racing than NASCAR.
I don't think so.
Yep. Good
All
to
right.
go over here.
Okay, where's everybody positioning themselves on the cart to get
Unless
started?
there's a specific reason that he shouldn't be there, Zez is already in the catapult waiting to go.
That's fair.
I'll be in line next to be sent. Okay, maybe I'm on the port side.
Yeah, and like I said, two people can be sent at a time. But if you want to be sent to separate places, then you'll have to be launched separately. But you can wait. All right. If everybody is ready, the track goes quiet, and there's a tension in the air as everybody is preparing, and you can see Byron's kind of focus on Betsy in front of him. He leans forward and he says, "You got this, girl. We got this." And there is a pause as everybody seems to be waiting for something, and then in the distance, in unison, you see 5 streaks, like small bursts of fire, which then explode outward as 5 fireballs are sent up into the air in unison, some point in the distance, illuminating the night sky. And as you're all distracted for a moment by that, immediately Byron, whips the reins, and Betsy goes accelerating forward at an inhuman speed, lurching you all backwards and racing into the distance. And I'm gonna. Here's what I want to go ahead and do. I'm gonna have all of you roll for initiative. Essentially, you will all go at the same time, but this is determined who goes first on the team, and I'll allow you to switch around if you wish to and go before each other, but this will at least settle our initial positions. And then as the rate, and then it'll essentially be your cart will go, and then another one of the other, whoever you're up against, will go too. So go and roll initiative. I'll put up the tracker. And
we don't have.
I'm just gonna
tokens to
add
click
labels
on.
for names here.
I just want to let you guys know that I rolled a 12 for initiative. Well, I rolled 14 for initiative. Simon rolled a natural 20, so.
Nice.
I accidentally rolled twice, but the first one was a 9.
It's not letting me edit the tracker.
I'll have to do it, so I'll get everybody's numbers. So Rawl, what did you roll?
14.
Dove?
9.
Zez?
3.
Joel?
11.
I need to roll for Byron. Again, Byron won't do much unless he rolled a natural 20, 22. The fuck, Byron?
Our boy.
Byron is gonna carry. Okay. This was their idea.
And then, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and order these descending. Okay, so the way this is going to work is all of you will go, and then the enemies will go, and then there will be some environmental hazards that will trigger at those points. But as you lurch forward, you are immediately being drawn across the ice fields that are to the northwest of Mirabar. Just long stretches of ice with some cracks running through them. Just an open, flat landscape, and you're heading straight towards like the mountain passes on the far like that are miles away at this point, and the fissures there. So you're in the first leg of the race. There will be, and Byron probably told you beforehand, there are 3 legs in total that you will be going through. But as you immediately set off, you can see the red wyvern is immediately gaining a lot of ground over the other teams. It seems that Finn has trained his creature well and has built up a lot of speed and begins to immediately take the lead. The Arcane College team on their blue wyvern is not too far behind, but is far away from you towards the on your right. But immediately on your left and right and approaching you to either side are the green wyvern with the kobold team on it and the tan wyvern with Norog the hill giant riding on the back. So as these 2 carts approach you, kind of immediately trying to knock you out of the race, what would you like to do? Byron, I think, is just going to focus on driving this turn. So he's not going to do much. I'm just going to go ahead. He'll just hold his turn. And Rawl, you are up first.
All right. Which one do we want? The big one or the little ones?
So the
I say
giant.
go for the big one first.
The giant is riding on the back of the tan wyvern. It has a big cart behind him that is just full of rocks, like big boulders.
I look at that, look down at myself, and then I go, all right, for you, Dove, I will do this. Okay. And I'm going to attempt to catapult myself onto the back of the... it's behind us?
To the side.
Okay. Attempt to get on the cart with the giant.
Okay. So are you going to use? So you'll use your action, I guess, probably swapping places, unless Zez is going over with you.
Oh.
Yeah, Zez would go
Okay.
over.
So
Sure.
yeah, that's where that works perfectly. So you can use your action to launch yourselves over. So Rawl climbs into the seat with you, and the two of you like
Put
turn
you in my
the seat
legs.
to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you pull the lever to the side, and immediately two of you are thrown forward. You feel those G forces hitting you, air catching in your cheeks, and you go flying across. I assume you're all tethered in.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one. And the tether, the slack pulls. You see the cogs spinning as they are hurled 60 feet across through the air, and the two of you land with a thump onto the cart onto this pile of boulders in the back of the cart. So that is your action roll. You're currently in position there. Do you have anything with a bonus action you want to do?
Boy, do I. I would like to. You see Rawl sort of like right herself, and she gets her footing on this, and you see her pull out a sword hilt. And as they pull it off to the side, they kind of put it backwards in their hand, and I'm going to ignite my my sunblade, and it is it's a white blade.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
off to the
I'm
side.
gonna take a
as you-
stance.
All right, as you take your stance, I love it. Joel, what do you want to do? As you've just seen Rawl and Zez go flying off into the night.
Cool. I'm gonna turn to the other side, and I'll go to the other side of our cart and sort of lean off and push my black hair out of my face. And then Joel's gonna reach out towards the kobold that's driving the other wagon.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna cast blindness on him.
Okay. And I will say, so there's 4 kobolds on the other wagon, but yes, one is driving, the other 3 are in the back, and you can see the back of their wagon is has another catapult that's similar to yours, but instead of a kobold that is loaded up into it, instead there's a big circular like black object on the back with a fuse on top, and the back of their cart is just loaded with these bombs.
Cool. I like them. Gonna try to take them out.
Do it.
Joel's eyes, which are normally white because he's a ghost eyes halfling, go black. He's like whispering under his breath. The kobold has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Why?
Please
Oh, there
fail.
it goes.
This
All
would be really cool.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Con save is an 18.
Yeah, that succeeds.
Damn. So the kobold that's driving the cart is is momentarily you see the cart kind of lurch to the side as he reaches up and starts like wiping at his eyes as like his vision goes dark, and the whole thing kind of unsteadies for a second. The kobolds in the back begin to like yell forward, gesticulating into the air angrily. He shakes his head and looks over at you, Joel, and glowers in your direction.
Okay. As he makes eye contact with me, I want to use my silent speech to telepathically speak with him
Okay.
and say, "Are you ready to get your mind freaked?"
He says
In his brain.
You just hear a voice. Can you speak back with that, or is it just towards you?
Yeah. No.
No. Okay.
No. No. Just kidding.
You just hear shouting from the top. It says, Chris, is that you?"
Freaking end him. I'm gonna kill everyone in this race. There's no memory of Chris Angel. Ever.
Wonderful. I love it.
I don't think I have a bonus action.
Okay. Sorry that failed, Joel. You get him next time.
That's okay. I'll try again.
Dove, it's up to you.
Maybe I'll just poke his eyes out.
Uh, so I think so. Joel went for the kobold driving,
Yes.
and nothing crazy happened. So Dove's gonna do the same thing. She is going to. I love this spell so much. She's gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at the kobold driving the kobold cart.
Okay.
And a creature of your choice that you can see within range perceives everything is hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. The targets must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
That's a 3 on the wisdom save.
Fail.
Uh, okay.
So he's going to be incapacitated, unable to stand up for the duration.
Okay. You all watch as the kobold that is driving, uh, as he yells over at Chris, towards Joel, shouting, "Chris, is that you?" Um, you begin to hear over the flapping of wings and the air rushing past your ears, just as as he clutches his sides and falls over sideways in the cart, falling out of onto the sled, and rolling around, and the other kobolds look down and begin to shout at him and like try to shake and figure out what's going on. But the wyvern, no longer being steered, begins to kind of veer to the side and is actually heading kind of like towards or closer towards your cart, as it's like heading like almost for like a collision course for all of you, but they've lost control. um which
Whoops.
anything else but Dove?
No, I don't think I have any bonus actions.
Okay.
So we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Zez, it is your turn.
All right, how is the sled full of boulders connected to the wyvern?
I'll say there is a oh, this would be funny. There's a belt that Norog is wearing that has like these like leather straps back towards the cart with all the rocks in it.
Okay, so it is tied to Norag and not to his
Yeah,
wyvern at
and
all.
not to the wyvern.
Ooh. Gosh. Let's see. The sensible thing would be to just try and cut the line. But what I want to try and do is yank him back off the wyvern.
Try to pull the giant off of the wyvern.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. I'm gonna say it'll be a. I guess it'll be a strength contest.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and rage so that I get advantage on this.
Okay. Yeah.
And just as I rage, these other goblinoid spirits pop up around Zez, and I think in this instance they basically just function as hype men and just like trying to get him to, pump him up.
I love it. I think he is also like I think it'll be both of you at advantage because I think with him being with the giant being huge and you being small.
Yeah.
But yeah, the both of you will have advantage on it.
Okay. Well, that's a natural 20.
Oh, you're probably gonna win that then.
For 24.
Okay, you got a 22. And there's suddenly a like a crashing around you as especially you are caught off guard, Rawl, as Zez, this tiny goblin, just reaches before, grabs onto Norog's belt and just leaning back, like imagine bracing your legs against the back of the wyvern and just yanking forward. You can see Norog's like thighs trying to clench onto the wyvern, but it's not enough, and he's just yanked straight off the back of the wyvern and goes tumbling onto the ground. I will say that seems like that would hurt, so I will have you roll, let's say 2d10 damage.
Okay. I'm just imagining very Final Fantasy VI suplexing the ghost train right now. 7 and 7, so 14.
That's 14. Okay. the giant comes crashing to the ground, and the wyvern goes soaring off ahead, continuing to fly without its driver, as the whole thing just begins to skate and skirt across the ground, like spinning in a circle, boulders going flying everywhere. The two of you riding on top of this cart. Anything
How
else?
quickly, like, would we just get yanked away as like this card is no longer moving at speed?
That's a good question. I think you'd be slowing down proportional to the cart as it's like skidding. Actually, I'll have both of you make dexterity saving throws. I think that's a good way to see how you're able to hold on here.
Um, I believe my danger sense would apply here.
Yeah, you can see this coming. You did it.
Yep. Well, I rolled 2 11s, so that's gonna be 12 for Zez.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you go tumbling away from the cart, both of you. I think it says you're holding on to Norag and kind of tumbling end over end with this giant. I'm gonna say both of you take not a lot of damage. I can't remember the commands on. No, it's. There we go. 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you go
Okay.
falling across the ground, and the ropes that you're tethered to are quickly growing taut.
Yep.
Anything else says?
I think just in the kerfuffle of all that is oh shit, I wasn't expecting that to work. But no hard feelings, buddy. As Zez is expecting to get like yanked away from the giant as our cart moves on ahead.
Yeah, I think Norg will get one option to oh, this is gonna be funny. We'll get one opportunity to do something as he sees the cart getting pulled away, and he looks down at the two of you and sees the rope growing taut, and I think he's gonna try to grapple onto Zez.
Okay. But this is athletics as a chance to defend.
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics. So I assume you want athletics.
Yeah, I'm proficient in both. I assume I don't get advantage from this from raging. It's not technically a strength check.
No, it's a strength check. You're making a check in Swiss strength. So yeah.
All right. I kind of hope I fail, but no, that's a 22.
Oh, who does it go to? He also rolled a 22.
What is it in an opposed?
This is an opposed grapple check.
Goes to the person who's being grappled, I think.
Okay, to avoid. Like they're setting the
so.
DC and you're rolling DC. You're rolling to avoid. I'll say that's fine. We'll go with that and move this along. This is one of those areas of D&D that I'm like, I've never had come up, and now we're having, and now I'm like, who wins here?
Yeah.
And we'll adjudicate it later if we need to, and I'll do some research. But for right now, What happens is he tries to clasp onto you, Zez, and you just kind of like push your arms to the side to hold the fence, and then suddenly you're just pulled backwards. Yes.
It's the combatant with the higher grapple check modifier wins if it's a tie.
Oh.
And then
really?
if that's a tie, then you roll again.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Interesting. We'll just go with this for now. This is where I did that, but now I know that for later. You were just pulled out. His hands clapped together, and is just left in the lurch behind you with all these rocks. And you can see like stop mounting, you're like picking up a rock to just like hurl in a direction, but it just skids to the ground behind you. As both you and Rawl are now being dragged across the snow behind the cart.
Zez would do what he can to try and shield Rawl from the bumps of the road, given that he caused their predicament right now. But
I mean, it's ice, so I'm almost imagining that like you're kind of skating across the ice right now. Like
I'm imagining
wake,
like a Scooby Doo and Shaggy like accidentally like
yeah, like
like
wakeboarding, like
skiing down the
yeah,
road. Yeah.
yeah. You're sketching off the back of the of the cart right now. But that was the Giants' turn. So here's the Kobolds. Their wagon or their cart is being very quickly brought on a collision course with yours. However, the ones in the back see no option to fix this other than to launch a bomb at your cart. So you see them. One of them pulls the like one of them adjusts the catapult, and the other one pulls the lever, and suddenly this and you see a this bomb now hissing as one of them has lit it, sailing through the air in your direction. And I'm going to need those on the cart to make dexterity saving throws. And Byron will make one too. That's an 18. Damn, Byron.
12.
12. And what'd you get, Dove?
What does mine say? 12 and 26.
That'd be if you're rolling with advantage.
Oh, then 12. Why is
Okay.
this? Why is it rolling it with? Oh, with
It's
advantage.
set to
It rolls
auto roll
both.
advantage.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Got it. I'm me and
yeah.
roll 20. You know, we don't get along very
Yeah,
often.
that's fine. We tolerate each
But we're
other.
trying to mend our relationship tonight. Okay. Me and
you
roll
al-
20.
You also rolled a 12, Joel?
Yep.
Okay. Byron sees this coming and ducks down into his seat while the two of you are caught a little unawares, being distracted by the chaos behind you. And there's an explosion to the side of your cart which rocks the entire thing, and you both take it's going to be okay. Ooh. That's going to be 22 points of fire damage. I rolled very high on that. As it explodes next to you, sending shrapnel and flames around. The cart is damaged, and like half, like a part of the car is like singed and like smoking a little bit from the explosion. As the whole thing is like rocked to the side. And yeah, that's the Kobold's turn. So our driver is still laughing. Can't do anything here. For the environmental factor is in the wake of that explosion, you watch as cracks begin to form across the ice here, and the whole like plate of ice that you're on begins to shift and move underneath you as these ice fields are beginning to rupture, as cracks are spider webbing out, and you all feel yourselves kind of fall, like lurching backwards a little bit as you're heading towards like an edge up ahead, where the whole thing is tilted upwards. But that is going to be the end of our first round, and Byron is very worried about those of you that just took that blast. And yeah, it's going to do this. Is going to use his action. Says, "Okay, things are about to get a little bit rough up here. Hold on," and pulls out a device from his cloak and slams it down on the ground behind him. And as he does, it sort of spiders out with these this little contraption, like these legs spider out from it, and this orb on top spins and then pulses, and all of you gain some temporary hit points from his Eldritch Cannon. Which is gonna be 8 plus 4, 12 temporary hit points to the two of you.
I need him. That was rough.
Yeah.
That was over half my health.
Ooh.
Same.
Okay, that was Byron's turn. Rawl, it is your turn now.
Skidding on the ice, flailing frantically, just holding my sun blade as far away from me as possible on the slippery surface, and says, what the hell?
That both worked so much better and so much worse than I thought it would.
You stupid small son of a bitch! How do we get back?
Tell them to pull us back.
Pull us back! While they're doing that, how far away is the goblin ship?
Not too far, probably like 30 feet.
Okay. I can do stuff. But what do I want to do? I know what I want to do. The bombs are in the back, right?
Yes.
Okay, I am going to point on this. I'm going to point my finger and say a few funny words. Toss a little chip out of my finger, and I'm going to cast Shatter at the back of this to try to blow up the back of it to drop all the bombs. Okay.
Yes. Is that a save on their part?
It's a attack / save. Hold on.
I think it's a saving throw. I think it's a
non-magical
save.
items that takes the damage if it's in the spellcast area. Okay. Each creature center performance, because if it's a creature, it has to make a saving throw.
Okay, I'll say that the kobold trapsmiths in the back will need to make con saves for that, and then yes, the cart will also take that damage, and the bombs too. So con save,
please. It's not very high.
That's 11, a 15, and a 20.
The 11 does not make it. The rest of them do. All right, so they are going to take half as much if they got it. But basically, I'm just trying to blow out the back of this.
Yeah.
That's 16 damage.
16. Okay,
Yeah.
so one takes the full 16.
Thunder.
The other two take 8 thunder damage. And here's what I'm gonna say happens. Since it's not this wasn't a flame-based spell, the bombs, you can see the bombs themselves kind of crack and break, and the back of the cart cracks and breaks too. You see one of the bombs actually comes like tumbling out the back of it. But you also know something else. There is a long line of gunpowder that is now trailing out from behind the back of the cart, as the bombs are rendered essentially useless at this point, as they have now broken. But now it's just a big pile, essentially, of broken shards and gunpowder in the back of this cart.
On my shakiness, I see it. I look at the ground. I look down at Zez, and I'm like, I've got an idea.
That's all you.
But that's my turn.
Joel, it is your turn.
Rawl's giving me a great idea. This is dumb.
I wonder what it is.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the tinderbox out of my bag, and I'm gonna strike something. I've got flammable stuff in here, and I'm gonna chuck it.
Okay.
The gunpowder.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely far away, close enough to chuck something. And yeah, you maybe have like a piece of tinder or like a.
I've got 10 candles.
You light up a candle.
Yeah, I light a
I've
candle.
got arrows. Where you would have light an arrow.
They're all black.
Okay.
They have runes on them.
Got some
Oh,
black
of course
candles.
they do.
All right.
I
Go
love
ahead
Joel.
And, as we have thrown weapon.
Dexterity, right?
Sure. I'll give that to you.
I'm pretty. I guess.
Candle's
good.
not heavy. It's more finesse based.
I'm just adding my dexterity?
I'll say you're proficient in candle throwing.
Great. I love that for me.
Have you used
Joel
have you
sounds
used a candle
goth.
before,
Of
Joel?
course he's proficient
Yeah, you've
in
thrown a
candle
candle.
throwing.
Okay. So I rolled a 1, but
Oh,
I'm
You're
a
a
halfling.
halfling.
Oh yeah. So re-roll that.
Come on, Joel, you can do it. Oh, that's way better. It's 22.
Okay, so here's what happens then.
Oh,
Rawl,
wait, I
as
say a small prayer to my God that no one can hear. And I
Rawl,
throw a candle.
you cast this shatter spell and you see this, and as this like moment is clicking, I imagine like you lock eyes with Joel in the back of the in the back of the cart. You see Joel just like lift up a candle, then light it, and then just chuck it over into the kobold cart. And it sails through the air, and the I'll say it like just like there's a moment with your halfling luck where you're like where it misses the back of the cart and you're like no, and it strikes the ground and you see it catch the edge of the gunpowder, and now there's this trail of lighting gunpowder coming up, like catching up with the back of the cart, and the kobolds in the back, they're like heads ringing, one of them laughing uproariously. One of them looks to the back, sees this happen, and goes immediately like jumps out of the side of the cart just as it catches the back, and then the whole cart just explodes in front of beside you, sending the ice sheet that you're on rocking sideways. And you see the wyvern, no longer tethered, just sails above your cart as kobolds are just flung to the sides along with the debris from their sled, just at the time as you hear Byron yell something that you cannot hear, and your cart launches off of the cliff formed by the by this ice sheet, and you go sailing through the air with both Zez and Rawl behind you.
I was gonna try to pull them in, but this feels like a much better use of my time.
Well, Dove, it is your turn. What are
No
you
offense.
doing?
Wait, do I have a
Joel!
bonus action?
Bonus action. What do you do with your bonus
I
action?
was gonna use healing word on Dove.
Oh, that's fair.
I'll do it at shit, I don't have a lot of those. I'll do a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Because
Is it 3d4?
yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah. I gotta be. Here you are. 4, 7, 11. What's my wisdom? 5. 16.
16. You get 16 hit
Yeah,
points back.
that's
Dove.
good.
Wow.
As Joel yells something at you, which you can't really hear.
No,
but
Joel does a yell.
Oh, sorry. Joel says something to you, whispers something in your direction.
Joel reaches into his pocket and crushes up something and just looks at her and goes,
And somehow that makes you feel better.
smells like lavender.
Honey,
Dove,
you know you can't freak their minds if they don't have heads left, right?
I'm pretty sure some of them are still alive.
and
Fair.
that's the point where you get launched over the edge of this this glacier. Dove, you want to take an action here?
Yes. There doesn't seem to be anything that needs my attention right this second, besides getting my friends in. And I'm not very strong, and I don't think that's gonna be my jam.
You
So-
just have to use an action. You just have to pull the
Oh,
lever.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I will reel them in.
Okay. Yeah, you pull the lever as you're feeling energized by this, and suddenly, as you see Zez and Rawl, as the two of you see the cart in front of you kind of disappearing over the side, suddenly you accelerate forward, and the two of you skiing on the ice go over the side of the cliff, like above the cart for a moment with your accelerated speed, and then you're pulled and yanked back down into it as the cart then lands, and the wyvern rights itself as you go sailing across this ice fields towards the cliffs ahead. And we're going to go ahead and take our break here as this first encounter has ended more beautifully than I ever could have hoped.
I helped.
So wonderful.
Bonus action, bardic inspiration for Joel, BTW, so that we end my turn cleanly and I don't forget after break.
All
We'll
right.
do that.
we're gonna be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure you go get a drink, take your meds, get a snack if you want, or take a little siesta. We'll see you in a bit. Bye. welcome back, everybody. I hope you're well rested and got yourself a beverage and took your meds like you're supposed to, or take a gummy vitamin. That's good too, especially at our ages. All right, let's get back into it. Take it away, Val.
Okay. All right. Jumping back in, your cart has now crashed onto the other side of this ice fissure as you have destroyed the two carts behind you. You see the smoldering remains of the kobold cart as their wyvern soars off into the distance, and behind them, the hill giant like kicking around in the ice, frustrated that their time in this race has ended so quickly. Byron urges Betsy forward, and you have a little bit of a stretch here as you are quickly approaching a looks like a cliff face in front of you, with these long fissures between, and you're heading into these like ice canyons ahead. So you have a little bit of time if there's anything you want to do before you hit this next stretch of the race. But you can see ahead of you that Byron is currently catching up with now that you're no longer being attacked. You see the mage's cart with their sleek cart and their thin and speedy wyvern is currently heading in the same direction as you are towards that pass. So we're out of initiative for right now. If there's anything anybody wants to do,
I think Zez just like fist bumps his various ancestor guardian spirits as they like catch up from that adventure and then fade out as the rage subsides relatively quickly, because that was like a 2-round rage or something. But
oh my god,
yeah, but prepares himself for the next yeeting. Well, I think first notices like, oh shit, what happened here? Y'all okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Can we have a conversation about the whole you just like kicking that guy off that was very like not in the plan that I thought we were going for?
Well, I mean, it was either like I thought maybe first thought was, cut the wagon loose, but sure he wouldn't have had his rocks, but he'd still be in the race. And then so it was like, well, okay, let's get him off the wyvern. And I'm expecting him to do like some special whistle to call the wyvern back and get back in it, but we've fucked things over enough that it's gonna take a bit for him to recover.
Well, I at some point would like to do something like attack. I have my nice blade out. I would like to use it.
And it is a very nice blade. I wish I had one, but
I made it white this time.
It's very shiny.
I'm gonna heal myself while they're arguing.
yeah,
Listen,
did you do? Oh, sorry.
all the other carts have more than one person, so I can't just yank them all off at once. Well, hold on, phrasing.
Nah. Nasty.
Are we still doing
bugger.
phrasing?
Shoves.
I'm sure you'll have a chance, and maybe next time I'll be the one that launches us over first.
Toot toot. Yes, you pull the thing this time. I will attack with the blade. Right in the throat.
Bloodthirsty, I like it.
Look, I haven't got to do anything in a while, and sometimes you just need to take out your anger on something.
Oh, trust me, I know. That's why I do the pit fights.
Yes, I do enjoy those. I'm not allowed to use my sword in pit fights anymore. I got banned.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to heal from that blade than regular weapons.
But it cauterizes the wounds.
Yeah, that's part of what makes it harder to fix.
I guess. You're right. I'm sorry.
So we're doing killing? Is that...
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like you blew up some of the kobolds.
Yeah, no, when Rawl started to say that wasn't part of the plan, I really thought that was going to be directed at me.
Oh, no. That was brilliant. That was exactly part of my plan. No, it's the whole I went to stab, and then all of a sudden we were off the thing, and I was on the ground skating for my life. It's I don't want to hit you accidentally with this and take off your arm or your ear.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great. Joel, are you good enough to replace limbs yet, or is that not something you know how to do?
It
Yes.
depends. Do you want goblin ones?
Eh, as long as I can still stab with them.
I got a couple of ideas.
To be like a stranger, Anyways, let's.
Okay. Byron, as you're approaching the pass up ahead and closing in, yells back, "We're getting close to the next cart. You all ready?"
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
5x5.
let's get freaky.
Oh, Joel, I was going to say, you blew their minds. That's what you like to do, right?
I'll take it.
And as you say that, suddenly the clear, like flat plains around you are replaced with the sheer rocky and ice walls of this pass as you go racing inside. And there's a little bit of like tossing and turning to the side as Joel is riding the cart and following this very narrow passageway. And directly ahead of you and closing in, that you're closing up on quickly, you see the cart for the Mage College team, a sleek, narrow cart which appears to have these two glass domes on the back, or they appear to be like these clear domes on the back of them that two of these mages are currently positioned in and staring back at you as they're beginning to incant their spells in defense. And we're going to get back into initiative order here. Byron is going to go ahead and just do another round of temp HP for everyone in the cart. JIC. Let's see.
It took me a second to remember what JIC stands for and that you weren't just like doing some weird acronym out of our names or something. It's like, who's I?
So it's going to be 9 temp HP to anyone that doesn't have it. If you already have temp HP, then you can keep the 12.
I just had an idea.
And that is what Byron's going to do, because it seems like y'all have, it's going to mostly focus on driving right now. Rawl, what you got?
Oh, what are we coming up on?
The mage team is directly ahead of your cart.
I am going to pull Zez in the car in the thing with me, and like get us situated. And I like go to pull the lever, and I look over. I'm like, "Do you guys want to come?"
Yeah, it only
Sure,
took
I'll
two.
come with you this time.
All right, shove Zez out.
Byron says, it's only rated for, you know what? Okay. Oh, 2. Yeah. Okay. Shoves those out, and y'all get in the
helps Dove up, puts Dove in between her legs.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, I want to go
Alright.
on the next one.
back. Okay. And you're using your action roll to blast yourself forward.
Yes, I will hold Dove so that it's more stable.
Okay. The two of you go flying, catapulting forward through the air towards the mage cart. You see wide-eyed the two mages in the back of this cart, seeming surprised as you fly over your wyvern and land amidst them in their cart there. Anything with your bonus action roll?
No.
Okay.
No, I'll just gingerly set Dove down.
All right. Joel, what do you got?
The problem is I have too many ideas. So they have a dome.
Yes, essentially on the back of their cart are these like two almost like turrets that they can stand in with these glass panels so they can see out for like spell casting.
Okay.
But they're shielded from projectiles.
But it's not over the hole.
No, there is a kind of a canoe shape to this cart that now Rawl and Dove have landed in.
Cool. No, I'll do what I was gonna do originally. I'm gonna try this again, but different. One of the mages is in charge of driving, I assume.
Yeah, there's one in the front of their cart
Okay.
that's currently driving it.
I'm gonna cast Hold Person
Okay.
on that mage.
All right.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
God damn it.
Oh, it's a natural 20
None of my
24.
spells work.
Uh,
And nothing
um,
happens.
so the mage at the front of the car, similar to before, the kind of locks up in place as you're rounding a bend, and the cart kind of slams against the side, and just for long enough for them to ride it, as the whole cart shakes and trembles, and you can see like little bits of ice and rock kind of raining down on you as they hit the side. They resist the spell, but they are starting to glance over their shoulder anxiously back at you, worried about more spells like that coming their way.
That's it.
Okay. Dove, it is your turn.
I have too many ideas, and I accidentally deleted a spell from my sheet. So I've been
Oh,
scrambling
no.
for a second. It's fine. I don't know how to use Roll20. We're working through it. It's fine. We have our differences. So I think hold on. Let me look at this.
And you are currently in the cart
I'm
between
currently
these three mages.
in the cart with these little mages.
Yeah.
She's going to there's so many choices.
And they're from Mage College, so I think they're all wearing like chubbies and Oxford shirts with backwards mage hats.
Oh God, they're preppy bros.
They're
Yes.
preppy bros.
The
Yes,
worst.
the preppy bros. I have so many ideas, and I just need to pick one. We're gonna do. Hold on. What's the spell? I'm gonna cast suggestion on the one driving.
Okay.
And my suggestion is that he slow down his wyvern to a nice steady stop.
Okay.
A nice safe stop.
Was that a wisdom save?
Yes, it's a wisdom save.
It's a 14.
Yeah, my save is a 14.
Oh no. Okay. Once again, messing with everyone's freaking with the mind of this mage up front who is just renting resolute here. Starts to slow down the wyvern and then shakes their head again, spurs forward, and you hear them yell over their shoulder and says, "Dudes, will you stop that?" And seems really, really just PO'd about the whole.
No, honey, that's kind of why we're here.
Anything else, Dove?
Inspiration to Rawl.
All right. Zez, it is your turn.
All right. Would Joel have positioned himself in the catapult for yeeting since he said he wanted to go next time?
Oh, that's right. Sure.
You can. Yeah.
Yep. So then Zez will make sure we are both secure, and then I guess it's action to yeet us.
Action to yeet.
Action to you.
It's like
Yeah.
bonus action rage. Action to yeet.
Yep. But then once we are over there, I will bonus action rage so that as the guardian spirits pop up, they will be able to do stuff.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, you pull the lever with you and Joel and the two of you now. So all four tethered people go flying to the cab or to the cart in front of you, landing, kind of bumping into Rawl and Dove. But you're all standing on Missy's mages, who are now very worried that they're outnumbered and no longer at range, which is where they wanted to be.
Yep, but that's action, bonus action. I don't know that there's yeah, I don't think Zez has equip prepared at this time, so that's it.
Okay. Enemies turns then. So the two mages that are in the back, one of them says, looks at the other and says, "Dude, you handle that. I got the cart." And one of them looks back as the one that faces you is gonna do a God. I'm really limited on spells here. Fireball would be a bad idea. Let's do a. I really only have a magic missile. Yeah, it's got a magic missile. At 4th level. So it's
Okay.
gonna do.
I'm gonna do a counter spell.
Oh, just
Oh.
wait.
Sorry,
I asked this for that.
yeah. I hold my hand up like
Okay.
like I'm forcing
Reaction to counter spell. Are you doing it? What level are you doing it at?
it. It's at 3rd level.
Okay.
So
So go ahead and roll.
I don't remember how this works.
So you roll and add your spell casting ability modifier, which I think is intelligence for you. And then you have to beat a 14.
I didn't beat a 14.
No. So you
I'm not that kind of wizard.
you attempt to throw up a ward in front of all of you, but as this barrage of magic missiles comes streaking out, it just cracks through, piercing through this magical barrier that you erect, and slamming into the four of you. So at 4th level, I believe that is an extra 3 missiles. So it's going to be 6 in total against 4 people. So we go 2, 2, and then 1 at the other 2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to roll 1, and then I'll just...
According to Jorfden and Tedward, you just roll 1 and then use it for all of them.
Oh, okay. I normally do it separately, but...
Well, I don't think it specifies in the spell, so...
Yeah, well... That was bad on their part. So it's going to be 4...
No, it's definitely only that.
For the folks at home, it's a 1 + 1, so
Just
2
2.
points of damage on
So-
each start.
It'll be 4 points to both, I'll say Rawl and Zez, and then it'll be 1 or 2 points to Joel and Dove. And he sends out the weakest barrage of magic. He's like,
It's static electricity.
I got this, bro. And like, this all these missiles come out, and they just kind of like blink, 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 blink. I swear that never happens to me.
Bro, are you sure your magic's good? Like, I'm raging and it's not supposed to weaken force
Just
damage.
wait, I'll do it again. It'll be fine. And the one behind, though, you see has been muttering something, and is going to be casting, taking his page out of a couple of your books at this point. Is going to be casting suggestion on Byron.
I was like, who's Byron?
I was like, wait. Is that me? Am I Byron?
Damn, Byron. It's a 19.
I told you Byron was gonna carry.
Byron is just crushing it. Yeah, as he commands Byron to slow down the wagon or stop your cart, it just Byron just powers through it, and it's like, don't worry about me back here. I'm good. And The last one is gonna. You know what? Fuck it. The last one goes. Are are you are you serious? And holds up a hand. He says, "Sorry, bros," and holds up a hand and is gonna cast an ice storm, which is gonna descend down on everyone in the back of the cart. So I need a dexterity saving throw from everyone back there, including the mage bros.
Oh boy.
They're about to have a falling out. They both fail.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
That is a 19 for Zez.
I also. What is your inspiration now? A
Oh,
D6?
1d8, I think.
A D8?
No, I think it's a d8.
Cool.
17.
C.
18.
All right.
I got an 8. I fail.
DC is 14. So who failed?
I failed.
Okay. Just the one failure.
Yeah.
Um
I will use my reaction to do Spirit Shield on you, so the ancestral spirits swarm over you and block some of the blow, so you will reduce the damage by 8 points of damage.
Okay. So that's gonna be it's 9 bludgeoning and 18 cold. So total of 27 points of damage. Half if you succeeded. So
And I
that
have
is
the bludgeoning as well.
yeah, you'd have the bludgeoning. The bludgeoning was 9. So you reduce that to 4, so you take 22. Then half of that to 11. Anybody else that succeeded would get 13 points of damage, and then Dove, you take the full amount minus the what Zez rolled.
8.
8.
Okay, so you said 27, so I take
27, 19.
19.
Alrighty. And the the two mages in the back failed, so they take I said 27 points of
Yep.
damage. And they're not looking great after that. And they look forward and go like, dude, what the fuck? And start to yell at their driver. However, at that same point, as you have like tossing and turning, your cart's bumping up against the sides and against each other, that fall of the ice and rocks doesn't stop, and they keep like they're batting up ahead of them, and they go like, dude, stop it. He yells back and says, I'm not doing it anymore, I stopped. And you all look up in unison as you see the edges of this pass begin to crumble and are beginning to fall down as an avalanche is forming around you from all of this commotion. It is Byron's turn, and Byron is looking very worried about the situation. Says, it yells ahead of you and says, I really need to get around these guys. If you can do anything about that, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you, please. God bless. And that's his turn. Rawl.
All right. Rawl is going to take something out of their pouch, put it in their mouth, and start chewing it. I'm going to cast haste on myself.
Okay.
And I pull the blade back, I start to vibrate slightly. And I'm going to use my Sunblade to attack.
Okay, so you have your one
Finally.
hasted action left.
Yeah, my hasted action left.
So which one are you attacking? The one that's driving or one of the other two that are injured?
I'll attack one of them that's injured already.
Okay.
Okay. So 19 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. And well, that's lame. It's gonna be 5 radiant damage.
Okay. So you slash back at one of the mages behind you, and as he's yelling at his captain, and you cut through his nice Oxford shirt into his arm, and he looks down and says, "Do you know how much this cost? Do you know how much my parents spent on this shirt? Do you know? Because I don't, but I know it's expensive."
Your focus determines your reality. And you have none.
What does that even mean?
It means your Lacoste polo sucks, honey.
That is Rawl's turn.
Yes.
Joel, what you got, my dude?
Well, now I'm here. Is this on wheels at all?
No, this one's hovering.
No, this one's hovering, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that gets rid of that plan. These guys are getting on Joel's nerves. I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
To whack the one that keeps yelling about how much everything costs.
Okay. Roll your attack.
That is a 14 plus 8, 22.
That hits.
Cool. How much damage do you do? 1d8. That's 9 force damage.
What does your spiritual weapon look like?
It's a whip.
It's a whip. Okay. This spiritual whip, this radiant whip forms behind him, and he's like, "Do you know how much? I mean, just once, I'd like to get through one," and then the whip cracks across his back and like strikes him, and he just face plants onto the ground in the back of this cart. It cut off mid sentence, and is just like a small pool of blood behind him. So he just freaked his mind.
I wonder how much your parents will spend on your funeral.
Joel, that was dark.
You just killed a man.
You did.
I'm gone.
What is your action?
Joel mutters that under his breath. And then looks over and says, "They'll never see me coming." And vanishes. I'm gonna use my action to do Channel Divinity Cloak of Shadows. I just become invisible.
Okay.
Until the end of my next turn.
This guy's terrified. You just murdered his friend, his brother.
It was force damage. He could still be
He
alive.
could still be alive. You just took out his brother and then vanished, freaking his mind. He just goes, "Whoa." That is Joel's
That's.
turn.
Oh wait, can I move?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start creeping up towards the driver.
Okay. David, is your turn.
How do you follow a murder and then invisibility?
With more murder.
I don't know.
More
More murder. Okay. Sure, sounds good. Except instead, I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness.
Okay.
On
I'm a good influence.
Joel's a bad influence on Dev. And yeah, so we're gonna cast Crown of Madness on so we'll do the one. So one's dead, there's one still up, and then there's the one driving, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast it on the one that is still up but not driving.
Okay.
And one humanoid here, let me put that on the thingy. One humanoid of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the target is charmed in this way, a twisted crown of jagged iron appears on its head and the madness glows in its eyes. A charmed target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. The target can act normally on its turn if you choose no creature or if none are within reach.
Okay.
So I want it to attack his friend. They're already fighting.
Ah. Rolled an 18 on his wisdom save.
You know, you ruined my plans.
I know.
Call it a fail. I'm just kidding. No, that's fine. It would have been really funny though, because they're already fighting.
That would be good.
It's okay. I've got more spell slots. We can do it again.
That's such a good spell. This black crown of thorns begins to settle down on the head of the of the one mage bro, and he looks up and sees it, just kind of like waves it off in the last seconds, like, that does not go with this shirt.
Yeah, because you're just the absolute authority on fashion, huh?
I am so tired of being criticized by people that are trying to kill me. Anything else you turned of?
We'll give my last bardic inspiration to Zez.
All right.
I was just so ready for the next word out of his mouth after criticized by to be women.
No, I wasn't gonna go that way.
No, I know you were.
But my brain went there too.
But I
Yeah.
knew this guy in college.
Yeah. I think
I
we
was
all
like,
knew this
oh,
guy
I
in
know what you're
college.
about to say.
Mine's name was Joey.
Love to hear more about that later.
What sort of murder would you like to do, Zez?
So Zez is, for the first time since the race started, actually going to pull out one of his weapons, like takes the great axe off his back and is just like thwacking it against his palm as he slowly makes his way towards the driver and is just saying, "Look, bro, I haven't even gone to college, and I know that you are wasting your potential, your parents' potential. I mean, you cast a spell that hurt your own brothers. And it's just, I mean, oh my gods, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing here. If you survive this night, you need to take a very close look at what the hell you are doing and reevaluate some things. But first, you need to survive this night." And is going to recklessly attack with the great axe.
Go ahead and attack. Oh, I don't think he's gonna survive this.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. For that's only, or well, no, because it does have rage as well, so that's going to be 11 points of damage for
Okay.
that attack, and then second attack also reckless. And also, like, once the great axe came off, the cloak of displacement kicked on, so like there's this like blurring after image of Zez as well.
Yeah.
Second attack.
A lot of goblins in this card.
That's a natural 20.
Okay.
I hate when he uses that cloak. It gives me such a headache.
Yep. Gonna add Fury of the Small to this one as well.
Okay.
So, but I don't think that gets doubled,
Is
unfortunately.
it a die or is it?
No, it's just a flat.
Okay, then no, yeah. it's just
But
damage
so, but with Fury of the Small, that's going to be a +5 total with the rage. So now let me roll the dice. So hold on. So let me figure out that. So I rolled a 4, but the total flat bonus is 9
Okay.
from my Strength, Rage, and Fury of the Small. So 9 plus 4 plus 3. So I rolled garbage on my dice, but so 9 plus 7 is 16 for the
Okay.
crit.
16 points of damage.
Oh, and because I have a thing for this, Great Weapon Master is my feat. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon, you can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
Oh my god. Okay.
So for
Beat
my
him again.
For my bonus action, still reckless.
Okay.
So close. I mean, that's a 19 plus stuff to
Yeah, that
hit.
hits.
No Fury of the Small this time. That is going to be 13 points of slashing damage.
He had exactly 13 hit points left. you you just bring up this axe and just start, he's like, no, I'm driving, oh god, and as you just hack, and his last words are like, but all the beer I could have bought, as he slumps off the side of the of his driver's seat and then disappears under the cart.
I'm sure you're tasting beer with shit just like you.
Oh!
Leaving one mage remaining.
Yep. Oh fuck y'all! They don't have a driver anymore. Byron, get ready to pull us back.
Yeah, I think God, this last mage, he doesn't want to die.
He just watched his homies go down.
I know. This feels. I had two choices here. Is he gonna do something incredibly reckless or incredibly cowardly? Let's go with cowardly. We've set up these guys. I know what he's gonna do. He casts fly on himself. And he goes, no. Okay, all right, chill, peace, bros. I'm out. And he starts to fly up and away. However, at that same time, the avalanche grows closer, and ice and rocks begin to slam down from above you. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
It's a 19 for Zez.
All right.
I've rolled very well on my dex saves. I only have a +1 to them.
14.
All right.
25.
All right. 19, 14, 25. What'd you get, roll?
12. Oh, I'm sorry, 14. I have so many things on right now that give me bonuses to like random shit. I just making sure.
Okay, just maintain concentration. So it was a 14 was the DC. So if you succeeded on it, then you actually no damage. Okay, he didn't even make the con save. He weaves amongst them, like avoiding the ice shards and the rocks as you do too. I would have just been so funny if that had killed him and he had fallen. But unfortunately, dude bro escapes or begins to fly up and away from you. Yeah, just leaving a empty cart now in front of yours as this avalanche continues to approach. It is Byron's turn, and he yells. He says, "Do you all want to come back?"
Yes, please.
That'd be delightful.
Okay, just making sure. He leans back, grabs onto the handle, yanks it, and all of you are zoom pulled back into the cart behind you. As this one now, without a driver, it's just like the Wyvern is flying as fast as they can. The car is just slamming against the sides, and Byron is beginning to try to take you around this cart, but it is veering wildly around, and he is a little concerned about that. So we'll continue doing another rounds. There is some danger here, and you do have a mage flying above you. Rawl, what would you like to do?
That's me. Hello. Well, I still am hasted for another. Well, it lasts a minute, so I'm sorry. What am I looking at?
You are currently you're back into your cart.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cart ahead of you that is not being driven, just has a Wyvern pulling it frantically as an avalanche is raining down around you. And there is a one dude bro mage who is flying above you.
Oh, flying?
Yeah, flying.
Ah, cool. I will. Why not? Well, No. Oh, yeah, give him a taste of his own medicine. I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
So yeah, I point a finger and pew 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 pew.
All right. Go ahead and cast your do your magic missile damage.
Yeah, it does 1d4 plus 1. Right, okay. And there's 3 of them. I was just double checking. Alright. 2 plus 3. So 3 points of damage each. So 3 darts, 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
And I'm going to yell, Owlbear's rule!
So you hit him with the magic missiles, like hit him and slams it. It's not enough to kill him. But as he's flying above, he goes, "That was nothing. I'm gonna." And as he's rearing back to cast another spell, he forgets that he's casting his fly spell. As he loses concentration, and just falls straight out of the air and just falls behind your cart into the snow and the ice.
Let the past die! Kill it if you have to!
Do you have anything to help get your get the other cart under control or to get it out of the way?
Yeah. I still have my spiritual weapon up. I'm gonna try to take out one of. Oh no, it doesn't have wheels.
Yeah.
Does it have any kind of like steering mechanism?
Yeah. I mean, it's got the reins that were the Wyvern was being controlled with.
I don't know. I don't really have anything for this.
Did you like target the reins and break them? Maybe.
I
You
guess.
could try to.
Yeah.
You could
I
try
don't
to
know. I've
break-
been like going over to my head, like, how am I gonna get rid of this freaking cart?
You could break the tether. You could try to. I mean, if you roll well enough, maybe grab and use your whip to pull the reins and.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll try that.
Okay. Go and roll your attack.
That's 19 plus 27.
That's very good. Okay. Yeah, you your whip uh snaps down and like entangles with the reins, and it pulls as you command your spiritual weapon, because you can move it up to like 60 feet or something, right?
I think so.
You pull the reins to the side, causing the Wyvern to kind of grind up against the side of the cavern, giving enough room for yours to push past as Byron spurs Betsy forward and out of harm's way. And that avalanche crashing behind you you begin to gain some ground on it. As you can see up ahead, you are beginning to approach a tunnel. And the icicles and the rocks falling down, this roar behind you, is then at the last second your cart goes shooting into the tunnel, and the ice and the avalanche buries the tunnel behind you, leaving just, I think the cart gets buried and the Wyvern at the front of it just makes it in the tunnel, and it just kind of like yanked to a stop and starts like trying to pull against the cart. But is now stuck there as it's gnawing at the reins and trying to free itself. But no longer a threat to you as you go veering ahead and out of sight through this corridor. And you have succeeded in clearing the second leg of the race. And you have a bit of time here as Byron says, "All right, we're getting into the last stretch here. This is when things are going to get a little dangerous. So just be ready."
It weren't already?
Not in comparison.
I just
That's
need
what
to.
I like to hear.
I need to take a little nap. Haste ends. Just takes a little nap.
How's
And-
everybody doing? Hit point was.
still pretty good
I'm a
here.
little over half.
I'm only 10 down.
I will cast Cure Wounds on Joel. Cool. So that's 1d8 plus whatever my spellcasting mode. I'll just cast it and see what happens. Huh. Wow. Really killing it there. You get 4 points.
Better than what I had.
No, is there any more for
I'm not doing so well with my spells.
Looks like you cast it at a higher level.
Did you
What's
cast that
that?
at first level or at?
Second.
Okay, so that it'll add 2 to that.
Okay.
So 6 points total.
Well, I thought when I self-acted second level that it was going to do the math for me.
Nope. Roll20 wants you to learn for yourself. Um, the Byron gives everybody another 5 temper HP if you're missing yours. He can also cast a Cure Wounds on somebody if somebody wants one. Who's the worst off?
It's probably still Joel or Dove,
I'm
based
only
on the bomb
down.
earlier.
I'm only down 8.
I'm at 25 of 40.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Dove.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dove needs it.
I'll cast a. That's 11 healing.
Wow. Better than mine.
I'm not at max, and yet I still have more than your max HP. But I'm a barbarian.
Yeah, you got it.
That's kind of your job.
All right. We are approaching the final leg of the race as the cavern, this tunnel, opens up into a large cavern, and immediately all of you have to adjust to the blast of heat that you're all hit with as you are now sailing over a essentially like a series of these fissures in the ground that all have you see this glow of molten rock beneath them, and immediately ahead of you you see the dark iron cart of Finn the Weasel. And Byron says, okay, if you've got any special tricks, now's the time. And you can see these bursts of magma coming up from around the room that Finn is kind of weaving around, and Byron is bringing your cart up neck and neck with Finn's, and you can see this. It's essentially like an iron like box on the back of it with this ballista on top, and
Mhm.
immediately as you approach, you see a small like hatch open up on top of the cart, and Finn grips onto the ballista, preparing to strike.
Yeah.
Uh,
Zez would have explained to the others as we're pulling up. It's like, okay, once I get over there, first plan of action, disable the ballista, then cut the cart loose from the wyvern, and if that doesn't work, then we'll improvise. But that is
Good plan.
the intent.
all right. And you can see this wyvern again, this large 2-headed red wyvern that has there are chains. There's like a chain collar around, or a metal collar around both heads of the wyvern, with these chains coming back and connecting to the cart. A little bit sturdier, probably take a little bit more to break than the others, but is yeah, you can see Byron on top. Finn on top. Byron's turn, he uses it to close the gap a little bit, but is just going to focus on driving for now. Rawl, it is your turn.
Okie dokie. Have we already loaded up?
You can, if you
Yeah,
if you would
Zez
like.
would be ready to go for sure.
Okay, I'll take Zaz with me. I guess before we go over, I will again cast haste on myself. And with my hasted action, I will pull the lever.
All right. You pull the lever, and the two of you go sailing through the air. As time slows around you, Raul, you have a moment to survey everything in this cavern and land deftly on top of the cart, both you and Zez, on just behind where Finn currently is. You still have your regular action though. So what do you do?
I thought that was pulling the lever. Oh, casting haste was. Oh, could I have done it before?
Haste action to pull it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Okay.
And then bonus action. Yeah, bonus action. I'm going to invoke Blade Song. So my blade starts to hum, I guess. It's gonna be like chanting, like orcish chanting, but it is low and echoey in this chamber.
Okay.
Cool.
Joel, what you got?
Joel, still on the cart. I'm gonna use my channel divinity. Oh, what's the thing? Come back. I'm gonna use a channel divinity as an action to do invoke duplicity. So I create a perfect illusion of myself.
Okay.
And then I can use my bonus action to move it. And for the duration, you can cast spells as though you were in the illusion space.
Okay.
So,
are you casting it like on his cart?
Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, the illusion appears in an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of you.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say you're close enough.
Is that far enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. I make a spooky version of me and put it on the back of his cart.
Okay. A second Joel appears on the cart with Rawl and says, not tethered to anything, just appears there. Was that your action to do that?
Yeah, that's my action.
Okay. Anything with your bonus?
Yeah, it doesn't have hit points or anything. I'm gonna use, because I can use my bonus action to move in. I'm gonna use my bonus action to have it creep up on him.
Okay. All right.
Be spooky.
Yeah, he hasn't noticed it yet as he's currently like aiming the ballista, looking at, trying to keep an eye on both of your other companions that are on the cart as your as your creepy double sneaks up behind him. Dove.
So, logistically, would you say that the two-headed wyvern and Finn are within a 40-foot cube?
Yes.
Okay, then Dove's gonna cast slow on them. So they all need, well, I guess they both need to make wisdom saving throws or be affected by the spell for the duration.
All right. I'll do a wisdom save for Finn as a 15.
Rude.
Rude, I know. And for the wyvern, it's a natural 1 for a 2.
Well, so the wyvern for now, speed is halved
Okay.
and takes -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws and can't use reactions.
Okay.
So I don't know what that does for like the cart situation.
Yeah, the
but
speed differentials are going to catch up here in a second.
Yes. So their speed is halved currently. It's not going to cast any spells. It's a wyvern. And it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn if it was going to do anything besides run.
Okay. Suddenly, the wyvern, whose the wings been beating powerfully, slow down, and you watch as Finn's wagon or Finn's cart begins to slow in comparison to yours, and as if yours is speeding up, and you are quickly overtaking Finn's wagon. So you resist the spell, and then looks up at the wyvern and back at you, and angrily just growls in
honey.
your direction, says, "Don't think it's gonna be that easy now." That's gonna be his. That's gonna be your turn. That's really good.
Believe it or
Ze-
not, I had that spell prepared before I knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
That's even funnier. I did not
That's-
change that one out.
That's great. Zez, it is your turn.
Yep, Zez is gonna kind of just walk past Finn a little bit and just say, "Oh, I think this is gonna be plenty easy," and is going to attempt to attack the ballista, but specifically like the drawstring on the ballista, so
Okay.
that it can't function.
Okay.
Gonna do this recklessly just to be, just in case. That's good because I rolled, that is a 23 to hit with the great axe.
That is a hit. A roll damage.
And I would have raged beforehand, so
Yeah.
I think the ancestral spirits pop up and they're basically flipping Finn the bird or jeering him in some capacity. I am rolling garbage damage. That is only 9 slashing against the ballista.
All right. But you're
Uh,
targeting the strings, so I think
yes.
that's probably enough to cut the rope that that the ballista uses, and you slam down into it, chopping the rope. And there's like a twang. Is like the tension is broken on the ballista, and he pounces aside and looks up at you and says, "Ah, fuck off," and is beginning to grow real frustrated.
Yep. I've got my second attack now. And you said it's like a chain holding his cart to the wyvern.
Yes.
And so Zez will visibly look at that, then look back at Finn. That looks like a bitch to cut through, and I've heard you're a real bitch, so I'm gonna cut through you. And is going to attack him recklessly.
Looks at you. Respect.
Ooh, that might not hit. That's only a 13.
It does not hit.
Oh, actually, because I have inspiration.
Oh,
What is your inspiration?
It's a D8.
Okay, I gotta pull a
1d8.
D. Yep, gotta find a D8.
I wasn't prepared for this.
I have almost every other kind of die out. Nope, that's a D10.
You should always be prepared to be inspired around a bard.
Okay. Okay, so I said that was a 13 plus 5 to 18.
18 just hits.
Okay, so I will now hit him and I will apply Fury of the Small here. That was almost max damage, so that is 20 points of slashing damage on
Ooh.
Finn.
Nice. You slam down into the plate armor, like through into one of the pauldrons that he's wearing, like cleaving inward the best you can. And yeah, he grunts out in pain at this fairly hefty hit.
Yep. And I assume my great weapon. So one of the things with great weapon master is on a crit you can do it as a bonus action. Or no, that's specifically reduce a creature to 0 hit points. So disabling the ballista is not enough to proc that.
No, I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay, but yeah, that is my turn. And so because I have now hit him, my ancestral guardians are like swarming over him, and so until the start of my next turn, he has disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against me.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Cool. That's gonna be Finn's turn then. So yeah, he's still gonna try this. He moves to he climbs up out of the turret here, and standing in front of you. He has this great sword on his back, but instead of grabbing that, he looks around, sees your cart moving past very quickly, and instead grabs one of these ballista bolts instead, and takes it. And I think he's gonna try to leap over to your wagon as it's passing, to try to with the ballista bolt and the chain. There would be tax of opportunity here from those of you in melee.
I don't think I've gotten there yet, right?
No, you launched over with me.
Yeah, you launched over with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe I can still do this recklessly. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I don't see anything that says I can't. Almost a crit, but that is like 26 to hit.
26 is gonna hit, definitely.
I only got 24 to hit.
Also hits.
Is he undead?
No.
Okay, just checking.
That is going to be 14 slashing from Zez.
Okay.
That's 9 for me. Radiant.
Okay. All right. Okay. He he turns around with the ballista bolt, and then sees Joel there, kind of like flinches a little, like, where the fuck did you come from? He goes, instead turns to the side away from the three of you and goes to leap as he's slashed in the back. He's gonna make an athletics check. As a 26. He leaps across to your cart where I believe Joel and Dove still are, and with this chain in hand, and is going to attempt to drive it into the cart. However, has disadvantage on it.
Yes,
he's
I think the
attacking
ancestral
some-
guardians are like mooning him essentially and like just messing with him.
Stop! I'm trying to do the. I'm just gonna roll for what his normal attack would be. It's a 22 with disadvantage, and he drives the chain down into, or it drives the ballista down into the base of the cart, which is now chaining your two carts together. But that's all he can do on his turn here. So it is now the environmental effect here. At this point, those magma geysers are exploding around the cavern, and I'm going to need both teams to make pretty much everyone, everyone, to make dexterity saving throws.
Ooh, boy. My luck is running out. That's a 7.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
23.
Byron and Fenwick on 2. Dexterity. Ooh, that's a 10. He's going to use his Indomitable to roll one more time. 17. He succeeds on that one. And Byron will make one too. It's a 20. God damn it, Byron.
Parrying.
That's 20 points of fire damage.
I cannot reduce any of that.
Do we take half if we succeeded?
Half if you succeed. Or no damage if you succeed. Sorry.
Oh.
The DC was 13. Sorry for those of you that might have been close to that. I don't remember what everybody's numbers were. But okay. Byron's turn. He's going to once again use his Eldritch Cannon to try to give some temp HP back to those people that are in the cart. That's 12 temp HP to everyone in the cart, which is pretty good. And then as his action, he is going to cast. I don't think any of that's going to help. I don't really think he's got much here that he can do. So yeah, just gonna stick with that for now. Rawl, is your turn.
Okie dokie. I currently have a 70-foot move speed. Could I get over to back to our? There's a chain connecting our ships, right?
Yes.
Could I get over to ours to attack?
Okay, so instead of jumping, you want to try to like run across the chain.
I'm gonna monk run, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I can do a force jump right now.
I'm gonna say like an acrobatics check then.
Sure.
For balance. Do you get advantage on those?
I don't.
Haste?
Because I'm hasted? I don't think so, but let me double check. I don't use this very often. No, it's just a bonus to AC. Oh, no, you're right. Advantage on dexterity. Oh, no, saving throws.
Saving throws. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew it was dexterity something. I didn't know.
Let's go. That was 11.
Okay. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. With advantage. Oh boy. You've been okay, dice. I'm gonna go ahead and roll this one. Sorry. That's better. How's it 12?
12 is not much better. I'm gonna say you get halfway across.
Mm-hmm.
You don't keep your footing.
Okay.
You lose your footing halfway across. But I will say you do catch onto the chain, so you're like hanging onto it about halfway.
Okay. I will use my action then to do a firebolt.
Okay.
Because why not? Let's see if I can hit him. Nope.
What was the total?
8.
Oh yeah, no. No, that misses. As you, like upside down, hanging, you try to extend a finger and fire fireball in his direction. Just it goes wide and disappears into the cavern along with the rest of the fire.
I'm not going to get any maidens from this.
We won't tell anybody, I promise.
I love you, though.
Joel, it is your turn.
I'm gonna try to cast Hold Person on the big guy.
Okay. That's a wisdom save?
Yeah.
That's a 9.
Paralyzed.
Got him.
As he drives his head and then freezes in place.
Terrible smoky black tentacles wrap around him.
Yeah, as the tentacles wrap around him in his mind, and he looks at you, Joel, with a mixture of confusion and fear as you have successfully freaked his mind.
That's it.
Okay.
Wait, no. I back up.
You back up. Okay, away from him. Fair. All right. Dove, it is your turn.
So he's in our cart.
But he can't move.
Currently paralyzed.
Yeah. So like deck saving throws wouldn't go so well.
I think he auto fails those.
Yeah, except a lightning bolt in the cart might not be a great plan.
I would angle it away from the Wyvern.
Yeah.
It might do some
Uh,
damage to the back of the cart, but your cart is pretty good
but
right now.
yeah, I'm gonna so that's the plan. We're gonna cast lightning bolt at this dude. So they're gonna take 8d6 lightning damage. I'm gonna use real dice. There's 3.
Just
I
go ahead
figured
and
I
roll
should
that.
actually pull up the paralyzed condition.
Yeah, just while I'm trying to get dice out of this thing because my nails are really screwing with me right now.
So it's incapacitated and can't move or speak. Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Attack rolls have advantage. Any attack that hits is a critical hit if you're within 5 feet.
All right.
Okay.
So it
Paralyzed
won't
is
be a
crazy.
critical hit because it's not an
No.
attack, but it will be full damage.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 lightning damage to our
Oh,
paralyzed friend.
Okay. As the lightning surges through, like blasting a chunk out of one of the barricades on the cart, and blasting through it, you see like he's frozen in place, can't react to it or say anything, just like a muffled cry of pain as the lightning just this, I think we get the zoomed out version of this 100-foot long line of lightning illuminating the cavern. He is still up, but is not great right now.
And she said it wasn't going to be easy.
Zez,
Yeah.
what do you got, my dude?
Zez is gonna start by calling out to Ral. Ral, you good?
Never better.
Okie dokie. And Zez is gonna, similarly to what Ral was trying to do, is gonna try and navigate across the chain.
Okay, you want to run across the chain instead of jumping?
Well, So I've got a +7 to athletics and a +4 to acrobatics.
It'd be
Which
athletics check to jump, acrobatics check to run. Risk return on the jumping is significantly worse
Yeah.
than the running.
So gonna try and jump, especially because I am still raging, so I get advantage on it.
Okay.
So take whatever running jump is necessary. That's gonna be a 22 to make the jump.
That'll be fine. Yeah. You just go soaring over to the other side with a mighty leap, landing in the bed of the cart.
Yeah, and gonna probably rolls a bit, gets up, moves over next to Finn, and like gets in within his eyesight, and just like, I can take my time with you, and like deliberately lines up the great axe next to his neck, and then rears back to swing.
You just hear.
So first attack. That's like
and all of these are crits.
Oh boy, so 25 to hit. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and throw in my last Fury of the Small on this first one. Okay, I rolled garbage damage again, so 8 plus 9 is 17 on the first hit.
That doesn't hit. With
Well,
the
no. Well,
17 damage. Sorry.
17 damage, yeah.
Gotcha.
It was like a 25 to hit.
17 damage on the first one.
Yep. And then second attack to hit. 21 to hit.
Hits.
All right. That's some good damage. 19 plus 6 is 25 damage.
All right.
Is he still up?
Still up.
And you said technically these are crits, right?
Yeah, so you do get your third attack.
Yep. Do I try? Great Weapon Master, I can take a -5 penalty to the attack roll, but get a +10 to damage. Yeah, I think with this one, gonna do like a real big wind up with the Great Axe.
Okay.
And of course, I roll a 1 and a 4.
Do you have brutal critical yet?
No, I don't. I think that's an orc thing, not a barbarian thing.
And I think it's only certain barbarians.
Yeah.
get the brutal
And so
critical.
Gwen has it, but I don't know how she got it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do
I
not
think-
have it,
I think
Or
it's
it's
like
at
a
a higher
10th or 11th
level.
level thing. Yeah.
but let me just double check because with the math,
But I
that
don't
would
know.
be. No, that's only going to be a 6 to hit. So I think
Yeah.
winds up too far and maybe like the axe clunks down behind.
Yeah, one's a two, and there's like a bump in the cart, and you just end up like ass over tea kettle, falling backwards with the axe behind you. Unfortunately, unable to seal the deal there. He is still alive, but not very badly hurt. So he loses his turn, but gets to make another wisdom save, right? Joel.
Yes. Let me just double check. Where are you?
I don't know if you put it in the chat now. Let's see.
No. At the end of each of its turns, target can make another wisdom saving throw.
It's an 8. He still fails. Hold on. The wyverns I forgot last time. Nope. Still slow. The chain goes taut as the slow ass wyverns behind you are now like pulling on your cart, and they're like pulling against each other. That tether is like straining in the cart where that bolt is has been driven in. Finn is still frozen in place and angry. It is there's lava exploding around the cavern. Once again, I need dexterity saving throws from everyone.
That's only a 12.
18.
Fails, succeeds.
well, I rolled a 19 on the dice.
That succeeds.
18.
Succeeds. So only Zez takes the damage as lava or magma rains down on you. 14 points of fire damage.
Could have been worse.
Oh, well, hold on. Finn is going to take that damage because he can't avoid it. He's still up, though. And Byron, by the skin of his teeth, succeeds. So he's okay. Byron's unstoppable. Unfortunately, though, that is tethering behind you. You can see the ahead of you the tunnel, another tunnel forming. However, the lava and the magma around are growing more treacherous. The spurts are coming up, and the wyvern is growing very anxious to get out of here. Byron says, can we fix the situation, get him out of the cart and fix that before we really need to get out of here. We are very, very close to a lot of money. And he tries to spur the Betsy forward as quickly as he can. Rawl.
Hi, that's me. I would like to pull myself up.
You're halfway across the chain. I'll say you can use your movement to crawl the rest away across if you would like.
I guess I don't really have anything that could get this out of the. I guess I could shatter again.
You also
Got
have
a
laser sword.
lightsaber.
Well, I don't. I guess cutting the. Yeah. Okay. I will use one of my actions to try to cut the chain.
Okay. While you're still clutched onto it, or after you've climbed across?
After I climb off of it, I think would be
Okay.
better. Just
checking.
yeah.
I mean, it'd be sweet if you just hack it halfway through, and then
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then, well, I mean, I'm going pretty fast, so probably could
Yeah.
just run across it as it. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
20, 21 hit? Okay. That's gonna be 12. Nope. 10 damage. Radiant. It's not
Okay.
undead, right?
It's not an undead. This is zombie chain. Yes. You cut into it, and I'll say it begins to like burn through. If you're thinking like lightsaber through metal, it's like starting to melt through.
Yeah.
It gets about halfway through with that damage.
Okay, I think I'm going to use I'm going to use that as my hasted action. My actual action, I'm going to cast Booming Blade on my on my blade, and I'm going to attack Mr. Douchebag Finn.
Okay.
Yeah. As
With
a advantage. Does an 18 hit?
Just hits.
Oh, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, come on.
I'm so mad. He hasn't gotten like he got one attack against the cart. That was
9.
He gets 3 attacks per round. He has a great sword.
20. 30 damage.
How do you finish him off?
This is the first cool thing I've got to do with the blade. I slash into the chain, and then I just like kind of flip it around. I do the thing, and I flip it around in the palm of my hand over my head, and I just do that, and then I turn off my blade, and I sheath it.
And there's a moment of stillness before the top half of Finn the Weasel goes, like kind of slides backwards, and you just hear that grunt, and then goes toppling off the back of the cart behind you, leaving just Finn's legs in the cart with you, still and frozen in place.
My cape blows in the wind. My cloak.
Byron from the was like, that was very cool. Can we please deal with the chain now?
I started it. What? I'm supposed to do everything on this show?
Joel, what do you do?
I don't know if I can do anything about the chain. I guess if I heard it bad enough.
What you got, Fleetwood Mac?
I will fire a guiding bolt at the spot that's melting.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Dirty 20.
That can break the chain.
Should I roll damage?
I'm not going to have you roll damage.
Okay.
I'm just going to, anyway, you level your hand at the, or your holy symbol, and a blast of dark finger gun, blast of dark radiant energy slams in the chain, which shatters, and you all go shooting forward as you lose the dead weight of the of the other cart behind you, and you all brace yourselves as you go shooting into this tunnel as a plume of lava explodes behind all of you and disappears, and you see Finn's wagon engulfed in flames as the Wyvern kind of soars above, trying to stay out of it, but is lost from this race. So the 5 of you, along with the 5 and a half of you,
Zez would yeet the legs out. He's not winning on a technicality.
You throw the legs out of the back of the cart, and just as you explode back out into the light once again, and there is fanfare and explosions of confetti as you erupt into the hot springs, where there are crowds of gong acolytes waiting and cheering and screaming as Byron brings your cart to a halt. And as he does, he looks again, crowds of people coming up to congratulate you as you have won your race. and he looks back at the four of you and says, "That was fucking awesome. We murdered so many people. I don't think they're gonna have a race next year, but we win this year."
Woo! How much money did we get? We didn't discuss that beforehand.
We're gonna divide this
like
amongst the four of us.
20 pounds of gold.
Yeah,
Woo!
as one of the monks comes up and holds up a massive golden cog, the symbol of Gond, and you can divide it amongst yourselves. 1/5. So what? 4 pounds of gold to each of you.
Yeah.
From this, as you cut through it with your lightsaber to divide it.
Everyone watches just like, oh my god. I'm like,
Destroy this holy symbol. And there's cheering and fanfare, and you have won the Wyvern race. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Dove is just like taking a bow.
Mhm. And now a song.
Zez is high-fiving all the ancestor spirits before they fade
Before
out.
they fade out,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
start levitating.
Joel, show them your whip.
In the
Joel's show is
audience-
about to change genre a little bit.
in the audience, you see staring up at you the cherubim face of Chris the ASMR, and he locks eyes with you for a second, and you just hear in your head says, "You're the mind freak now," and he fades away.
Like the
Like a
Dread
full
Pirate
spirit.
Roberts.
And that's it. That's all I've got.
Yay!
Yay!
My
Thank you so
dream
much.
came
Much
true.
fun.
Val, that was amazing. Thank you so much for running that one
yeah.
shot.
Oh, you
And
are
coming up
very
with
Such
it
a
welcome.
today.
blast.
Yes.
I'm glad y'all had fun. This was a fever dream I had while we were waiting at the CarMax earlier, and yeah.
Well, next week we should be back to our regularly scheduled Playthings of the Gods game. They have just gone through the land of ooze and are quickly approaching the plane of water. So that'll be fun. Let's go around and have everybody say where they can find you, what you do. Sorry, I'm just gonna go around the way we did before. Alex, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Alex. Some guy on the internet. Mostly I'm over on G Game Nights. That's GGK, 2 G's and nights with a K. I'm there Tuesdays and Thursdays mostly. Tuesday we should hopefully be back with Squire Squad. It's been a while, but hopefully everyone will be good to go. And if not, we'll probably do more Monster Road Trip or something. But yeah, you should check us out for that.
Thank you very much. Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me here on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth, where I haven't been streaming missing because I've been playing D&D on the internet with my friends 3 times a week. You can find me here on Sundays. Hey, look, like Albie says, you found me. I'm here. And on Mondays, I am on GGK, also playing D&D. And on Thursdays, I'm on Nerd Emergency YouTube channel playing some more D&D. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel's is must with a Z in the middle instead of an S. This is really fun. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Deb.
Next up, Savvy.
That's me. Hi, I'm Savvy. You can find me at Savvy Seaworth on the internets when I'm not here on Sunday nights. Thursday through Monday, I am on GGK, either playing in games or running them.
Thank you very much. And our wonderful DM of the evening, Val.
Hi, everyone. Val, you can find me at the Kraken's Crown, Twitter and Twitch. I'm also around GGK running stuff much like this throughout the week. You can see me next for our Strixhaven game tomorrow. And then I also join us on Fridays for our next Red Jenny episode. We're playing the Dragon Age TTRPG at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So coming out for that.
Yay! I'm LB Hackemup. This is Simon. Next time this channel is going to be live is on Thursday. They're going to be doing Themeless Thursdays. Lauren and I will be back on Friday for more of our fun time. We'll be back here Sunday for our wonderful Playthings of the Gods game. The next time I'm gonna be live is tomorrow night doing Indoor Adventures. We're on our we're at level 19. We're in the end game of our I say that it's gonna be another 6 months, but come join us there. But for everything else, I guess until next time, I'm LB Hack 'em Up. Hack recklessly. Bye.